The crystal palace of Varen shone like a star fallen to the ground. Towering spires, living glass, and the pulse of 1,000 colors flowing through organic walls. It was the home of Empress Kalari Zive, ruler of the Very Night Dominion, feared across 7 sectors. Tonight was supposed to be a diplomatic banquet. Instead, it became something that would shake an empire. The Empress's burden. Empress Kalari sat on her throne of luminous resin, watching nobles chatter and merchants grovel. None of it mattered. Her gaze kept drifting to the small, quiet figure sitting beside her. Princess Serene, her only daughter, her fragile daughter. Serene had been born with glass veins, a rare condition that weakened her limbs and made movement painful. Varenites admired strength, beauty, perfection. Serene had none of those by their standards. Many whispered she should have been hidden away. Kalari hated them for it. But even as Empress, she could not give her daughter what she needed most. A moment of normalcy, a moment of joy, a moment to feel seen. Enter the human. The banquet staff included a small team of contracted workers from Earth. Humans were valued for their adaptability and resilience. Among them was one young man, Ethan Reyes, a waiter, a nobody. But Kalari noticed something. The way Serene's eyes followed him, the way she perked up when he passed, the way she clutched the rail of her support chair when music began to play, watching couples spin across the mirrored floor. Varenites never asked Serene to dance. Most pretended she wasn't there, a mistake or fate. While serving drinks, Ethan tripped, only slightly, catching his balance beside the princess. Embarrassed, he apologized. "Sorry, ma'am, I mean your highness." Serene smiled shyly. "You don't have to call me that. No one else does." The Empress heard it. It cut her, but Ethan didn't flinch. Instead, he whispered with a warm grin, "Well, then you can call me Ethan." That was the moment Kalari first felt uneasy. Humans were bold, dangerous, unpredictable. But what happened next shocked even her. The dance. The orchestra shifted to a slow, celestial waltz. Ethan looked at Serene's unmoving hands, then offered his own. "May I have this dance?" Every very night nearby froze. She can't dance. She shouldn't dance. It will embarrass the Empire. Kalari was on the verge of standing and stopping it, but Serene whispered, trembling, "Yes." So Ethan helped her up, carefully, gently, supporting almost all her weight without making it obvious. He adjusted her brace slightly so it wouldn't pinch. He held her not like she was fragile, but like she mattered. When they moved, it wasn't graceful. It wasn't perfect. But Serene laughed. The whole hall fell silent at that sound. The Empress felt something break in her chest. It was the first time she had heard her daughter laugh in months. The hall erupts. A very night noble hissed, "This is improper." Another sneered, "A human? With royalty." Kalari rose from her throne like a storm gathering. But before she could speak, Ethan did something insane. When Serene stumbled, he scooped her back into rhythm and whispered, softly but audibly, "You're doing amazing." The entire hall went dead silent. The Empress had executed people for far less disrespect. But Serene's eyes were bright, alive, full of pride. She beamed at Ethan like the stars had finally noticed her. And Kalari realized. She had never once seen her daughter look at her like that. After the dance, Ethan gently returned Serene to her chair. He bowed clumsily. "Thank you for dancing with me," he said. Serene blinked in disbelief. "You're thanking me? You made my night." The princess turned pink. Her mother nearly collapsed. The Empress's decision. After the banquet, Kalari summoned Ethan. The guards trembled, fearing for the young human's life. Ethan stood firm. I didn't mean disrespect, Your Majesty." The Empress approached him, towering, radiant, terrifying. Then she shocked everyone. She bowed her head, not to Ethan, to her daughter. "Princess Serene," she said softly, "would you like Ethan be assigned as your personal attendant?" Serene gasped. Ethan froze. Kalari looked at him with eyes that held the weight of 1,000 years of rule. "You brought my daughter joy," she said, "more than all my power ever has." Her voice cracked. I will never forget that. A new beginning. From that day forward, Ethan became Serene's attendant, and then her friend, and, some whispered, her hope. The Empress began to see humans differently, not as weaker aliens, but as beings with rare strength of heart. Her policies shifted. Her empire softened. Her daughter blossomed. And it all began because one human waiter dared to dance with a princess whom everyone else had forgotten. And in those months, Ethan became more than a servant, more than a helper. He became the one person who treated Princess Serene as something other than a symbol or a burden. He treated her like a person. He helped her learn to stand longer. He massaged the stiffness from her weakened limbs. He made her laugh every single day. He taught her small earth dances she could do even while sitting. The Empress watched all of it, at first with suspicion, then with confusion, then with gratitude. For the first time in the princess's life, she began to grow strong. Not physically, though she improved more than the royal medics ever expected, but emotionally. Confidence bloomed where fear had lived. Light filled spaces that had been dark for years. And the Empire noticed, a moment that changed everything. One evening, as twin moons rose over palace gardens, Serene asked something that halted the heart of the Empire. Ethan, may we dance again? She was standing, on her own, shaking, braced, supported only by the faint blue glow of her medical frame. But standing. Ethan swallowed hard, eyes wet. It would be my honor. They danced, slow, small steps, careful movements. But Serene didn't fall. For the first time in her life, she led. The Empress watched from a balcony above, hands covering her trembling lips, tears falling freely. Generals and advisors who stood behind her lowered their heads in silent respect. No battle won, no territory conquered, no treaty signed. Yet in that moment, Empress Kalari knew this night would be remembered longer than any war. Ethan summons. After the dance, guards approached Ethan again. But this time they were smiling. The Empress requests your presence. Ethan bowed and followed them, expecting a new assignment. Instead, he found the Empress kneeling before her daughter, not as a ruler, but as a mother. Serene, Kalari said softly, you have stood today because of your strength, but also because of someone who believed in you. She looked up at Ethan. Humans, they see worth where others see weakness. Perhaps that is her greatest gift. The Empress then did something unimaginable. She unfastened the royal crest from her arm, an emblem only ever passed down through blood. She placed it in Ethan's hands. You are no longer a servant of the palace, she declared. You are now guardian of the princess, and a sworn member of the imperial family's inner circle. Ethan nearly fell to his knees. Serene's eyes filled with tears. Mother, that is too much. No, Kalari whispered. What was too much was letting my daughter grow up without someone who truly saw her. History's turning point. The announcement spread across the empire. An empress elevating a human, a low-born worker, to such an honor position? Unthinkable. But then the visual feeds broadcast a single clip. Princess Serene, smiling and walking 3 steps, with Ethan holding her hands. The galaxy changed in one day. Sympathy replaced mockery. Respect replaced silence. The princess who had been hidden behind pity became a symbol of hope. And beside her, always, was the human who'd given her the courage to rise. The Empress's final words. Late that night, Kalari visited Ethan privately on a terrace overlooking the glowing city. Ethan Reyes, she said quietly, I once ruled with fear and iron. I thought compassion was weakness. She looked at the stars as if seeing them new. You showed me I was wrong. Ethan bowed. I only tried to help her. No, Kalari corrected gently. You saved her. Then she placed a hand on his shoulder. And in doing so, you saved me too. The last dance. The story ends where it began. With a dance. Not in the banquet hall. Not in front of nobles. But in a quiet garden under shimmering moonlight. Serene stood between Ethan's hands, trembling, but she stood. And as they took their first steps together, the Empress watched from afar, smiling through tears. Her daughter was not broken. just waiting for someone brave enough to see the light inside her. And a human, one simple, humble human, had changed the fate of an empire forever.